Dear friends everywhere, Friends Community celebrates a diversity of voices across 5 continents. Join us to learn about and support justice and peace work around the world. We would love to hear about your justice and peace work and what you're learning as well. And I pass to Innocent.
The Great Lakes Initiative, AGLI, works inclusively with individuals of all ethnicities, tribes, and clans at grassroots level. This inclusivity fosters active participation in diverse programs such as healing and rebuilding our communities, alternative to violence projects, peer mediation, peace debates, women's economic empowerment, caring for people living with HIV, improving women's reproductive health, supporting rape survivors, scholarships for vulnerable children, and climate resilience workshop for youth. AGLI's facilitators conduct workshops with South Sudanese refugees in Kenya's Kakuma refugees camp, one of the world's largest, and in Uganda. These workshops emphasize healing, reconciliation, and resilience among displaced communities. In Rwanda, 60 farmers learned conservation agriculture methods through farmer field schools. Additional self-help groups focusing on savings and community support were established in Rwanda and Burundi. In Uganda, in November 2024, AGLI convened peace builders from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda. Participants shared experiences and strategies to promote peace and justice regionally. The Children's Peace Library introduced digital peace building, integrating iPads and computers. Rural children and educators praised this innovation for its impact and literacy and peace education. AGLI celebrates Africa's diversity as a source of strength, embracing varied perspectives, fosters unity, honors cultural contribution, and builds collaborative pathways to peace. Now I pass to Kins.
Asia West Pacific cries out for liberation from colonization, corruption, exploitation, and climate vulnerability. Yet, when we listen, people building regenerative societies call out across the region. KINS collaborates with climate walkers, Plastic Free Bohol, and Student Catholic Action of the Philippines to call for climate justice and reducing single-use plastics. RISA built Maya Community Learning Center to preserve the unique language and culture of Bantayan Island. Jeongju supports the anti-military base movement and preserves Jeju Island's historic culture of peace. Petrus coaches vulnerable children and youth exposed to religious extremism, expanding the Indonesian peace movement. IDA helps children in Bima, Indonesia recover from religious extremism and domestic violence to deepen their faith and culture. Running from mortar fire, Kui organizes primary health care with youth leadership in Karenland. Nanik creates a just, peaceful preschool helping families in Java, Indonesia recover from colonization. And Rati searches for storybooks that illustrate justice and peace practices in local Indonesian languages. Sally brings children out of the Papuan forests after communities flee from armed conflict. Melanie visits indigenous and migrant people, building skills for community in Malaysia. Ram helps teachers in Nepal reduce school violence and introduce interactive learning. Mutual discernment and high-quality training inspire thriving communities of practice. I pass to Loren.
Constructores de la Paz en las Américas apoya a los trabajadores por la paz, que trabajan con niños, niñas, adolescentes, jóvenes, adultos, familias en crisis, personas privadas de libertad, personas con discapacidades, sobrevivientes de guerra y pueblos originarios en los países de El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia y Ecuador, donde prevalecen desigualdades y violencia persistentes. Y le paso a Salomón.
Trabajamos con personas con discapacidad, fortaleciéndolas para superar los prejuicios sociales. En Ecuador, trabajamos con mujeres quichua que estudian partería para fomentar el respeto y la compasión por sí mismas y por las niñas y mujeres sobrevivientes de violencia de género. En Cuba, Hemos capacitado a nuevos facilitadores y los apoyamos en talleres continuos en ambos extremos del país. Junto con las diversas poblaciones a las que servimos, construimos justicia y paz, resiliencia, creatividad y la capacidad de transformar nuestras realidades en una visión de inclusión y esperanza. Escucha las diversas voces de algunos de nuestros trabajadores por la paz a continuación. Y le paso la palabra a Chris.
Europe and Middle East supports power of goodness, gender equality, and alternative to violence, or AVP-based work in Ukraine, North Caucasus, Kurdistan in northern Iraq, and Palestine. Ukraine and Gaza are currently experiencing the horror of all-out war, while people in Chechnya and Kurdistan still feel the impact of war through continued repression, daily violence, and military drafts. Our team in Ukraine supports psychologists and trainers who help communities heal from trauma and spread the message of peace and non-violence through psychosocial workshops. Our team in Kurdistan, Iraq, joined Friends Peace Teams just over a year ago and conducts AVP and Power of Goodness workshops in the region with refugees, prison inmates, teachers, social workers, human rights activists, and many other diverse audiences. Our team in Chechnya brings the power of goodness stories of non-violence and reconciliation to schools, and the AVP Workshop special topic series, Cultures of Justice and Peace, to universities. Our team from Gaza and the West Bank in Palestine joined FPT in May of 2024, and they conduct AVP workshops in schools and communities living with extreme tension, as well as other humanitarian projects in Gaza, where aid is so greatly needed. In July 2025, Muslim, Christian, Quaker, and other faith peace workers from these regions will come together in person to learn from each other and practice our peace-building tools at a Cultures of Justice and Peace gathering in Armenia. To experience the diversity of voices from our region, please watch the FPT Europe and Middle East video on the website. I pass to Paula.
The North America regional team recognizes that meaningful peace is rooted in justice and equity, which are, in turn, rooted in respect for all life and the inclusion of diverse perspectives. Join us in this transformative work, which takes many forms. As a step toward justice, we acknowledge the harms to generations of Native families caused by Quaker Indian boarding schools, and we support healing in Native communities today by documenting both historical and ongoing harm. We also confront the wars and ecological destruction perpetrated by U.S. tax dollars, striving to build relationships where we speak authentically and develop our consciences. We invite you to listen to your conscience, write a statement of conscience, and share your statement on the FPT website. We are excited to be identifying children's books, introducing the practical skills of justice and peace at every reading level, and to edit stories to add to the Power of Goodness story collection. This developmental work supports FPT's Children's Peace Libraries and Power of Goodness teams globally. Additionally, we are honored to be amplifying contemporary Indigenous voices, such as Mona Polaka, Candy Brings Plenty, and Jordan Decker, through webinars hosted by Toward Right Relationship with Native Peoples. And I pass to Richard.
And there are opportunities for you. We depend on your active participation, prayers, abiding concern, outreach, and financial support. As an organization made up primarily of volunteers, we distribute 100% of funds designated to a specific region directly to the people in that region.
Share this Friends Peace Team episode with your meeting, church, family, and friends.
Write to office@friendspeaceteams.org to share your ministry for justice and peace, join a regional team, join a global support team, or invite a speaker from Friends Peace Teams.
Go to the Friends Peace Teams website, friendspeaceteams.org, to register for events or workshops. Sign up for e-newsletters. Read our news and read Power of Goodness stories and find storybooks in the Peace Libraries.
Donate by transferring funds or sending a check to the USA, Australia, or the United Kingdom.
Las necesidades son muy grandes y el Espíritu está obrando. Muchas gracias por su generosidad.